Ah, yes. When you see a video literally defacing women, you know it's going to be a wild ride. By the way, the tag on this video says, "Still, big respect for women," which, ugh. The mind boggles at the cognitive dissonance, but let's go on.
I do not permit a woman to teach or to assume authority over a man. She must be quiet. For Adam was formed first, then Eve. And Adam was not the one deceived. It was the woman who was deceived and became a sinner.
What? So first, where is Jesus? What's Jesus doing there? Does this guy think Jesus wrote 1 Timothy? Jesus most definitely did not write 1 Timothy. Neither did Paul. And this passage is one of the reasons that we know that Paul didn't. How does this passage let us know that he didn't write 1 Timothy? Well, for one thing, in Paul's undisputed writings in 1 Corinthians and Romans, he's clearly open to women speaking in church, leading. He even calls one an apostle. Second, it would be very strange if Paul wrote that Eve became a sinner and contrast this with Adam. Indeed, again, in his undisputed letter in Romans, Paul has a whole passage about how sin came into the world through one man, through Adam. This is a key piece of Paul's theology because Jesus is the new Adam, whereas the old Adam screwed up, the new Adam gets things right. So basically, this passage from 1 Timothy is going in a very different direction from Paul's theology and Paul's ethics. Now, this doesn't mean that 1 Timothy is not a part of Scripture. It is. It's one of the most misogynistic parts of Scripture. But the Christian always has to figure out which part of Scripture are you going to go with. Are you going to go with Paul, who was fine with women in leadership, or are you going to go with the author of 1 Timothy? You see, it turns out that the Bible is not opposed to women in leadership because the Bible's just a collection of diverse writings. So if a Christian is sexist and opposed to women in leadership, it's not because the Bible said so, it's because of what they've chosen to emphasize from the Bible. And if a Christian chooses to be sexist and oppose women in leadership, that's really a them problem. Jesus is disappointed. Do better.